Hello everyone. In continuation with respect to the injection molding, now we'll try to discuss about the sheet molding compounds and also the RTM and a small introduction with respect to the MMCs. The SMC is a compression molding compound often used for a larger parts where the higher mechanical strength is needed. SMC is a fiber reinforced thermoset material. The glass fiber reinforcement is between 10 to 60% depending upon the type of the application. The length is also a slightly longer than the BMC, which is nothing but the bulk molding compound, between half an inch to 1 inch. The thermoset sheet molding compound or SMC is a mixture of the polymer resin, inherent fillers, fiber reinforcement, catalysts, pigments, stabilizers, and thickeners, depending upon the type of the application where the SMCs are used. Manufacture of the SMC is a continuous inline process. The material is sheeted both top and as well as a bottom with a polyurethane or a nylon plastic film to prevent the auto adhesion. The paste is spread uniformly onto the bottom of the film and the chopped glass fibers are randomly deposited on the paste. The top of the film is introduced with a sandwich roller into a predetermined thickness. The sheets are allowed to cure for 48 hours. The sheet molding compound can be molded into a complex shape. The superior mechanical properties can be achieved very easily. The surface appearance and also excellent thickness can also be maintained very easily throughout the material. The body panels, high strength electrical parts, or the cabinets, or the personal watercrafts are some of the various applications with respect to this. The schematic diagram of the SMC is as shown in this slide, which consists of the first one is nothing but a paste or the matrix material. The second one is nothing but a chopped or a rowan reinforced material where the both are mixed, and the mixed is passed through a compacting rollers, and then afterwards what we are obtaining is a uniformed thickened sheet that it will be collected in a tank. The resin transfer molding. Resin transfer molding is also called as a RTM process. In the RTM process, either it may be a dry reinforcement is pre-shaped and oriented into a skeleton and as well as actual part known as the preform, which is inserted into a matched die mold. The heated mold is closed and a liquid resin is injected. The part is cured in the mold. The mold is opened and the part is removed from the mold. Resin transfer molding. The molding is a process which involves the following steps. The mold cavity is filled with a pre-reformed resin fibers. The pre-weighted amount of the polymer mixed with the additive and as well as the filler is placed into the transferred part, or it may be a mold. The charge may be in the form of a powder, or it may be a pellet, or it may be a putty like mass, or performed a blanks. The charge is heated in a mold where the polymer is softened. The plunger mounted on the top of the plate moves down, applying the pressure over the mold and getting the required shape. The process is as shown in the schematic diagram. The top one is nothing but a plunger where the charge is placed in a transferred part, and below that a sprue will be there. Below the sprue a mold cavity will be there. Because of the applying load by the plunger, the charge is transferred through the sprue to the mold cavity. Through the ejector, the dies can be opened and the component can be obtained. The mold equipped with a heating system provides a curing of the polymer. The mold is opened and the part is removed from it by means of an ejector pins. If the thermosetting resin is molded, the mold may be open in the hot state Cured thermoset maintains their shape and the dimension even in the hot state. The thermoplastic is molded and the molded parts are cooled down before opening. The scrap left in the pot or bottom in the sprue and the channel is removed. The scrap of the thermosetting polymer is not recyclable. The advantages of the RTM. The large complex shapes and as well as curvatures or integrated shapes can be casted very easily. High level of automation. The layup is a simpler than that of the manual operation. It takes RTM takes a less time to produce. The fiber volume fraction as high as 60% can be achieved very easily. Styrene emission can be reduced to a minimum. The cost effective high volume process for a large scale processing. The disadvantages of the RTM. The mold design is a complex and a required mold filling analysis. The fiber reinforcement may wash or moves during the resin transfer. Here the boards are shown which has been fabricated by using the RTM process only. The next topic is nothing but the metal matrix composite. Metal matrix composites are the composites with at least two constitutive parts, one being the metal, the another being a non-metal, or it may be a ceramic material, or it may be an organic compound. MMCs are made by dispersing the reinforcing material into a metal matrix in the current industrial scenario and needs for a lightweight and as well as high performing materials. The MMCs have emerged as the strongest contender against the monolithic materials and as well as the alloys. MMCs are used in aerospace industries, marine industries, automotive industries. Aluminum metal matrix are having a major application than that of the other materials. This is because of the high strength to weight ratio, high specific modulus, low thermal expansion and as well as excellent tribological properties. These properties depends upon the size, shape and as well as the weight percentage and the distribution of the reinforcement in the metal matrix. The following are the some of the application with respect to AMCs are aeroplane panels, aircraft structures, automotive brake discs, cylinder linings, driving shafts of the automobile, electrical connectors and electronic packaging, fuselage of the helicopter, marine structures, missile panels, etc. As we know that the application with respect to the AMMC is maximum when compared to the other industries. Even it is having a application in the aerospace industries, aircraft industries, automotive industries, electrical industries and even what we can say the sports application also. Stir casting. Stir casting is one of the basic method normally what we are adopting in the case of the MMC. Stir casting is a type of the casting process in which the mechanical stirrer is introduced to form a vortex and as well as mix the reinforcement in the matrix material. It is a suitable process for the production of the MMC due to the cost effectiveness and applicability to the mass production, simplicity, almost net shaping the and easier the control of the composite structures. Stir casting setup is as shown in the figure which consists of the furnace, reinforcement feeder and as well as the mechanical stirrer. The furnace is used to heating and as well as the melting the material. The schematic diagram shows the stir casting technique. The stir casting technique consists of the furnace. Inside the furnace a crucible will be there. Inside the crucible the metal is melt where the heating is done by using the furnace. And for the furnace a reinforcement hopper is fixed where the reinforcement is fed through the hopper. The motor is used to stir the mixing of the matrix and as well as the reinforcement. The stir normally it will be of the graphite stirrer. The bottom pouring furnace is more suitable for the stir casting or is often the stirring and as well as the mixing the slurry instead of the pouring is required to avoid the settling of the solid particles, which is nothing but the reinforcement. The mechanical stirrer is used to form the vortex which leads the mixing of the reinforcement material which is introduced into the melt. Stirrer consists of the stirring rod and as well as the impeller blade. Normally the impeller blade geometry varies, and even the number of the blades is also varies. The flat blades with a 3 number are preferred as a least to the axial force pattern in the crucible with a lesser power consumption. The stirrer consists of the variable speed motor. The rotation speed of the stirrer is controlled by the regulator attached to the motor. Further, the feeder is attached with the furnace and used to feed the reinforcement powder into the melt. The permanent mold, sand mold, or it may be a lost wax mold can be used for the pouring and as well as mixing of the slurry. The various steps involved in the stir casting process is as shown in the figure. In this process, the matrix material is kept in the bottom pouring furnace for the melt. Simultaneously, reinforcement and as well as the preheat is a different furnace at a certain temperature and to remove the moisture impurities. In some cases, degassing agents are also used to remove the impurities or the gases which has been produced in the process. Now, the various steps involved in the process is explained by using the block diagram. The melt of the matrix material, the stirring of the matrix material, the feeding of the reinforcement, and the continuous stirring of the matrix and as well as the reinforcement. Afterwards, pouring into the mold and then the solidification. This is a process normally which has been adopted in the MMC or it may be a stir casting technique. The squeeze casting or the squeeze infiltration is another technique normally which has been adopted for the MMCs. The squeeze casting infiltration is forced infiltration method of the liquid phase fabrication of the MMC using a movable mold part called as a ram for applying the pressure on the molten metal and forcing to penetrate to perform a dispersed phase and to place into the lower fixed mold. The squeeze casting infiltration method is similar to the squeeze casting technique, but it is used for the metals alloys and as well as the castings of the MMCs. Powder metallurgy. Powder metallurgy is the name given to the process by which a fine powder material is blended, pressed into a desired shape and then heated and bonded to form a component. The typically used when a large amount of small or integrated parts with a high precision is required. Powder metallurgy techniques are adapted. Little material waste and unusual mixtures can be utilized very easily. Use of the parts is automotive industry and as well as a household appliances and some of the applications even in the aero industries also. The powder metallurgy science is producing the metal powder and making the finished or a semi-finished object from a mixed alloy powder with or without the addition of the non-metallic constituents. The steps involved in the powder metallurgy are powder production, mixing or blending, compaction and as well as the sintering. The powder preparation. This is the first and as well as a basic step involved in the powder metallurgical technique, where the powder form of the metals are used as a base material. There are various processes to produce the metallic powder either by means of the atomization or by means of grinding or chemical reaction or electrolysis process, etc. Mixing and blending is a second step in which the reinforced material is mixed with the raw material which is nothing but a powder. This process ensured and as well as the distribution of the powder with the additive and as well as the binders, etc. Sometimes the lubricants are also added in the blending process to improve the characteristics of the powder. The compacting. Compacting means the compressed and the prepared powder mixture into a predefined dye. This step ensures the reduce of the voids and increasing the density of the product. The product is compacted into the mold by the application of the pressure. It involves the pressure varying from 80 to 1600 MPa depending upon the size of the component and also the material used. The pressure depends upon the properties of the metal powder and also the binders which are used in the process. The sintering. The green compact produced by the compressing is not very strong and it can't be used for as a final product. The step involves in is nothing but the heating of the green compact to an elevated temperature where the permanent strong bonding will take place between the particles or even the crystals. This process provides the strength to the green compacted component. The sintering temperature is normally 70 to 90% of the melting temperature of the metal powder. The secondary operation. The sintered object is more porous compared to the fully densed material. The density of the product depends upon the press capacity or it may be the sintering temperature or the compressing pressure. Sometimes the product does not require a high density and as well as the sintered products is directly used for the as a final product. The most commonly secondary operations use the sizing or hot forging, coining, infiltration or impregnations, etc. In most of the cases, the secondary operations are not required, but in some cases, the secondary operations are essential. This is a flow process of the powder metallurgy technique. What we can say in the first one is the powder material is blended, the compacted and sintered. After sintering, the secondary operations that depends upon the type of the material, either it may be secondary operations is required or not. And lastly, what we are obtaining is nothing but the finished component. This is a schematic diagram shows the powder metallurgical technique, how the powder metallurgical part is obtained in the process. Powder metallurgical advantages. The part can be produced clean, bright and as well as ready to use. The article of any intricate shapes can be manufactured very easily. Close dimensional tolerance can also be achieved. Even the machining operations are also eliminated. The parts have the excellent finishing and as well as high dimensional accuracies. The metals and even non-metals can be mixed very easily in any proportion. The high production rate can be achieved. The disadvantages. High initial cost, the equipment used and operation is costly, the impossibility of having the completely dense product, the metal powder is expensive and in some cases it is difficult to store. Some power may present a explosion hazards also, like either it may be the aluminum powders. The applications to produce a porous product, and what we can say, the most of the automobile and as well as the aircraft parts are fabricated by using the powder metallurgical techniques. Even the Babbitt bearings for the automobiles are also fabricated by using this technique. To produce oil pumps, gears for automobiles, and also some major applications in the case of the cutting tools. Even diamond impregnated tools are also fabricated by using this technique.